Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we'll be taking a look at the premium Bandai Brave Kyoryuzin set from Zyuden Sentai Kyoryuger Brave. This box is absolutely massive, so I cannot fit it all in one shot. I'm going to have to pan down a little bit. But you can see it is the Brave Kyoryuzin set. This is the Japanese version from Premium Bandai. Obviously, these toys were previously available in Korea as part of, I believe, Super Dino Force or Dino Force Brave. I can't remember exactly, but the show obviously debuted in Korea, and then we kind of got a Japanese dubbed version. Well, I should say Japan got a Japanese dubbed version, I believe, as webisodes, because they're only about 10 to 12 minutes a piece. But they went back and used, like, they dubbed over the voices with Japanese voices. They went back and used the Japanese music and everything. So, Premium Bandai decided to do a set of all 5 of the main dinosaurs. You have Gun-Tyranno, Shovel-Ceratops, Stego-Saw, Para-Saigor, and Raptor X. And we'll take a look at each of those as we go. But yeah, so Premium Bandai did this set of all 5 together. I believe in Korea you had to buy the other 2 separately, just like back when Kyoryuger was out and you had the main Kyoryuger was 3, and then you had to buy the other 2 separately. But here we have all 5 in one box. So I'm going to try to show you this box, but it's going to be impossible because it's so big. But it is nice. It's a very nice box. Not really much going on the bottom, just kind of the warnings and stuff. Not too much going on the side. It's kind of like a... You can see it's an extension of this drawing from the back. And then you can see the 5 dinosaurs right there. And then this side, there's nothing on that side. So, it's a huge, massive box. Like I said, I apologize because it's ridiculously impossible to try to fit it in frame here. So I apologize, and my lighting's probably all messed up just because it barely fits in the review station. So let's go ahead and open up this box and get on to the dinosaurs. Alright, so here is everything you get in the box, and there's a lot here. It's a really nice set. Obviously, you get the 5 dinosaurs. You get Gun-Tyranno, Shovel-Ceratops, Stego-Saw, Para-Saigor, and Raptor X. Of course, we'll take a closer look at each of them individually in a moment. You get each of their Zyudenchi, plus you get these 3 extra ones, Candelira, La Curio, and this Kyoryuger one, which we'll take a look at in a moment. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to show everything off because it's a really nice set. It's very impressive altogether. But now I'll dive in and we'll take a closer look at each one of these individually. Alright, so I'm going to go in reverse order, and I'm going to apologize just ahead of time because since these are all so beautifully bright white, it's going to make all of my lighting look like garbage. And there's unfortunately nothing I can do about that. These are just so beautiful. So I'm going to go in reverse order here, and I'm going to start with Raptor X. As you can see, it's a really nice kind of like hot pink magenta color going on here with the white and the black. If you're unfamiliar with Kyoryuger Brave, it's supposedly a sequel to Kyoryuger, but they kind of mixed and matched the Zords or dinosaurs so that it's not just the exact same. Like the Pink Ranger or the Pink Kyoryuger is not a Triceratops again. They switched all the dinosaurs around to mix it up a little bit. So this was the Raptor Zord, which used to be the green Kyoryuger Zord, but is now Kyoryu Brave Pink's Raptor X, which is basically Raptor and Axe kind of fused into one word. If we take a look here at the Zyudenchi, really nice holofoil sticker as always. You can see the picture here of the dino. Ooh, that's a new one on me. Got stuck there. Got to give it a good kick. That's never happened to me before, so that's a treat for you guys. There's the pin system. Anyway, holofoil, glow in the dark, holofoil, glow in the dark. And then it says Raptor X. Now it's funny, it says Bandai 2012. Obviously this is newer than that, but I believe that is when the original ones were made. So I'm assuming because they just use a similar mold. or the mold from back then. It's got the old date in it. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, this is a really, really cool Judenchi. Put that off to the side for a moment. So as you can see, it's very similar in molding to the original Raptor. Obviously the paint is different, and then they've added these axe pieces here. Otherwise, it's pretty similar. Nice paint for the eye. The teeth are painted. You're going to go ahead and open the mouth. Go ahead and pop the Judenchi in. And then underneath here, there's a button that you hold down. And then you can push this all the way in. And that splits open the tail. Still not that exciting. Just like with the old Raptor. Just kind of pops those open. But now you have these giant axe pieces, so that makes it cool. If you press the button underneath again, Judenchi pops back out, and you can pull it out, close up the mouth. If you want, you can put this in, and when you push this in to pop that out, you can leave it in. It will close completely with the battery still inside. Just like the old versions, original Kyoryuger version. And then just push that closed. So that is Raptor. Very, very cool. We'll get on to the next one. So next up we have Para-Saigor, and I think this guy, at least in my opinion, is the biggest departure from the Kyoryuger version. As he has an extra long neck, and he has this awesome gun coming out of his mouth. It's really kind of his lower jaw. He doesn't really have a lower jaw. He just has this giant crazy gun. But again, the white looks really nice. The black and the green really pop. It's kind of a... On camera, it looks more like a darker forest green, but it's really just kind of like a emerald green. But it's a really nice color. The paint looks great. I love the red for the eye. The head can spin around because that's for the transformation mode. Now, this still opens, so because they had to have the gimmick still work. So it's a little weird that his chest opens instead of his mouth. But what are you going to do? There's nothing they can do about that. It's just weird. I wish, like, I'm okay with his chest opening instead of his mouth if it didn't still look like a mouth. I kind of wish they had just kind of remolded this so that it was all flush, so that this, like, opening still wasn't here. If this was all just filled in, and then it just, like, okay, his neck opens. I could live with that. I'll just be like, he's putting the Matrix in, you know. But here is the Judenchi. I love the picture over here on the side with the gun coming out of the dino mouth. There is the glow-in-the-dark side, sparkly side, Para-Laser. Pin system. So very cool there. If we go ahead and open this up, and then we pop in the Judenchi, and then press the button down, that opens up just like a Para-Saigor did. I like that gold. I think that's a nice color choice. It really makes it pop. And then again, you can close it up with the Judenchi still inside, or you can pull it out. Leave that open, or push it back closed. Otherwise, it's the same mold as the Raptor. Para-Saigor and Zyuden were the same mold, and this one and Raptor are the same mold. It's kind of funny. I guess it's the same way as it was with Kyoryuger, where the same mold are together. They didn't vary that up. So, like for Kyoryugen Western and regular Kyoryugen, it's the same, both Raptor molds or both Stegosaurus/Triceratops molds at the same time. But overall, I really like this guy. I think the neck is cool. I really applaud doing something different like that. Like I said, my only complaint is I wish they just kind of molded this solid so it just looked like his neck. But I understand why they didn't. They would have had to make a new mold piece and everything, so I get it. But overall, I like this guy a lot. I think he looks pretty cool. Next up, we have Shovel-Ceratops. As you can see, it is pretty much exactly the Triceratops from Kyoryuger, but it has a giant shovel on his head. I don't know why, but I find it hysterical. It can still flip over here for the arm mode, just like Drill Sarah used to be able to do. Really nice paint here on the head. And the blue is really nice and bright, goes good with the white. Mouth opens. Zyuden goes in. Push the button. Pops that out. Now you can also pull the little part of the drill out as well. I always forget to do that, but you can do it. Zyuden pops out. Push that back in. So yeah, you can see, I don't know, I kind of would have put the shovel 180 degrees so it looks like he could actually dig with it, but that's just me. Still like this one a lot. I think it's funny. I mean, the giant shovel on the forehead just makes me laugh, but otherwise I like the Triceratops. I like the blue and the white and the black. Very nice color scheme. Taking a look here at the Zyuden, you can see the shovel on the top of the Triceratops head there as well. What is going on with these? They're like possessed. There we go. Shovel-Ceratops. Very cool Zyuden. Overall, I like this guy. And then last up for the arms, we have Stego-Saw. This guy is absolutely crazy. He's got a giant chainsaw blade coming out of his forehead. It looks great though. I mean, the gold, the black, it's all very nicely painted. I can't complain. I love the black for the spikes of the Stegosaurus. Now, unfortunately, because of how this is positioned, you can't do the gimmick, because this can only go so far back. Now, to be fair, you could open this up and put the Zyuden in. I don't know, would that fling it forward? Yeah, see, it doesn't really do anything, because how the old gimmick used to work with the normal Sutagochi, this could go all the way back. And then when you put it in, it would make it pop up so you could bring it forward. But seeing as how it can only go this far, it's pretty much already forward. So the gimmick doesn't really work for this guy. It's a bit of a bummer, but the giant crazy chainsaw just makes up for it because it looks awesome. This obviously still can come off because it needs to be wielded in the robot mode. And this can still open up for the shield. You just can't put that down any farther. So it's kind of a sword shield combo. You can't really do just the shield mode. I mean, you can leave it like this if you like that look better. That's up to you. But it's pretty much always this piece. And as such, the gimmick kind of falls away. But it wasn't the best gimmick to begin with. And this chainsaw thing looks awesome. Really nice paint there for the eye. Overall, I think this guy looks awesome. Now, all the other ones have white and black and the third color. This guy is just white and black, but it works. I think the gold really pops. I think that's why they added so much gold to the front, to kind of give him that third color that otherwise he wouldn't have. Taking a look here at the Zyuden. Chainsaw coming out of his head. There is the glow in the dark. There is this holofoil. Sparkly. Stego-Saw. So very cool. I like this guy a lot. Alright, so now we're on to the main event. Gun-Tyranno. This guy is beautiful, massive, exact same size as original Gabatira. Here is his Zyuden. See if I can get it to focus on this. Gun-Tyranno. So he is the same mold for the most part. This piece up here obviously is different on top of the head. Giant Gatling gun, which is pretty fantastic. And obviously the paint scheme is different. But if you come around to the back, 2 AAA batteries. He does make sounds. Now, he doesn't have a gimmick per se with the Zyuden, but he does make sounds. So very cool. I'm going to go ahead and bring the others in just for fun. So that is the 5 main Judenchi. We'll also take a look at these, which also come in the set. So you have the Candelira. Man, I don't know what's going on with these. Apparently I'm bad at pressing the button, which doesn't seem like something you can fail at. It's really tiny, but you can see in the logo for her, it says keep smiling. Let's see if I can get it to focus on that. It'll probably freak my lights out. No? Alright, cool. It says, it's really hard to see. It's super tinily wrote. Focus, maybe? It says keep smiling. But yeah, so there's the hollow foil side, obviously. She doesn't really have a glow in the dark side. And it says Candelira. And then here is the Lucurio. You can see it says his name right there. And I apologize, I always say his name wrong. For some reason, I just can't get it to come out of my mouth correctly. Luculo. I don't know, I get in my own head and I always say it wrong. Luculo. Lucuro? I don't know. I apologize. It's a cool Judenchi, regardless. And then the third special one you get here is this Kyoryuger one. And it's kind of hard to see what the picture is. But it's just like a big group shot. It's got regular Kyoryugen in the back. And then it has the Kyoryuger logo. And it just says Kyoryuger on the back. So I'll go ahead and pop these in so we can hear the sounds. So you get the name and a little phrase there, which is fun. And then the Kyoryuger one. So that's kind of cool. That's like the whole opening little dialogue before like the theme music would kick in from the opening. It would always like when it would cut to the opening of the show, it would give that little speech, and then like the theme song would kick in. So I think that's pretty cool. I kind of wish it played the theme song as well, but I understand they don't probably have enough space, and it would be weird to know when to cut it off. So I get it. Just for fun, I thought I would show you some of the other sounds. Now here is a normal Gabutira battery, and if you notice, these guys have the same pin system. So they correspond. So if I put this in here, it just thinks it's Gun-Tyranno. And they did that, I guess, just to make it simple. The other thing that's interesting to note is, like, let's say, for example, number 2, for Stego-Saw, you might think, oh, it's going to have the same pin system as Para-Saigor. It does not. It actually has the same pin system as Stego-Saw. So they kept the dinosaurs consistent. The numbers are not consistent, but the dinosaurs. So if I put this one in, so it thinks it's Stego-Saw as opposed to thinking it's Shovel-Ceratops. But if I take number 5, Drill Sarah, it thinks it's Shovel Sarah. So they didn't stick with the colors, they stuck with the dinosaurs. But I think it's neat that they kept the same pin system so that if you have the other Judenchi, you could use them instead. It's up to you guys. But you're going to get the same sounds. Now, to answer a couple questions, I'm just going to do a couple random things. Like, say, for example, here is Enkidan. So that just says Enkidan. It doesn't have any new exciting name. So that would lead me to believe there's not going to be any kind of new Enkidan toy. Now, if you've seen Kyoryuger Brave, you know that Enkidan and Boompaki do not show up in the show, as well as Plesion. So if I would put in Plesion, sorry, I hit the camera there. So it just says Plesion, so that would mean obviously they're not going to make any kind of new Plesion toy. But if you have seen the show, you know that there is a new version of Pterogordon and there is a new version of Bragigas. So if we put these in, so it does say Pterovolton. So that leads me to believe the door is at least open that they could eventually do a premium Bandai version of Pterovolton. We don't know. They haven't announced anything yet. But the sound is in here. If we pop in Bragigas, he's called Giga Bragigas, which was his name on the show. So again, the sounds are in there. That leads me to believe the door is at least open. I think they're probably going to wait and see how this sold. They do already have, I think, the sword and gun roleplay set for the Gabu Gabu revolver and sword. That 2-pack just came out. So if sales were good for these 2 releases, they might continue. I don't know. Again, they haven't announced anything yet, but they at least left the door open. Those sounds are in here. Other ones that, like, they know they're not going to do. So, like, here's, you know, Dino's Chaser. And then I'm just going to grab another one at random here. Let's see. This is Igaronodon. And I can drop it as soon as I pick it up, because of course. So I think all of the ones from 11 to 23 are pretty much just the standard whatever they said. But they have done a few after. I think it's 25 through 29 maybe. And just to get a little preview, they've kind of gone and used, let me see if I can find the one I used earlier. Well, they've used some of the like Super Sentai pin system ones. So there you go. If you don't have the Lucurio, you can use the Gal Ranger. They use the same pin system for that. Let me just grab another one at random here. Here's SPD. I don't know, that said Lion, it sounded like. So. How about... No, I just used it. Here's Shinkenger. So there are other dinosaurs that they used, or created, I should say, for this. And they apparently just used old Super Sentai configuration. So if you have a couple of the old Super Sentai DVDs, if you have a couple of the old Super Sentai Judenchi, you could pop them in here and probably get some sounds that you will eventually get later on with the Sword and Gun set I just mentioned. Has a bunch of those extra Judenchi with it. I think it has 25 through 29, or maybe even 24 through 29. I'm not sure. So yeah, I think that's kind of neat. There's going to be more Judenchi coming, and like I said, there's a possibility that Teravolton and Gigabragigas could see a Japanese premium Bandai release. At least the sounds are in here. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, if you have all the old Judenchi, you can play with them. I think most of them, at least 11 through 23, should give you the sounds that you're used to from the original releases. But then some of those Super Sentai ones, I think, got repurposed. So you could kind of unlock some new sounds with those. Alright, so we want to get into the first transformation here for Kyoryuger Brave. I'm going to kind of move these guys off to the side for a moment. And we'll start with Gun-Tyranno. Go ahead and slide this whole big tail piece off. And he will kind of pitch forward just a smidge because that is kind of how he keeps counterbalanced. He's kind of front heavy without it. You're going to take the legs and rotate them back. For some reason mine always stick. Then you can split apart the legs. Oops. Press this button and slide the legs down. And then rotate those down. And then you can rotate these little clip pieces. They rotate down, kind of fill out the leg. Then you can fold down the dino hands and then rotate the whole top section. I guess I did forget to show. Just in dino mode, he makes a cool roar sound. You can flip up the head if you like. But this is basically going to be your... Stretch out the legs all the way. This is the base of the robot mode. As you can see, it's kind of most of the robot mode. The clips are still here if you wanted to connect it. If you have the original Terra Gordon, it would work. I don't have it handy, and I'm holding out hope that one day we'll get Terra Volton, and I'll show you the combination at that time. But if you have the old Zords, or dinosaurs, mecha, whatever term you want to use, I guess Judenryu is technically the correct term. If you have the ones from Kyoryuger, they will work. Everything's cross-compatible. So you could use, you know, Ankydon, Bunpaki, Plesio, any of those combinations will work with this. So I have this out as far as it should go. And then we'll take the tail, split that open, pop the helmet out, come around to the back and plug this in. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the head on a while. There we go. Is that on all the way? I feel like it's not. But maybe it is. Yeah, I guess it is. It just seems weird. There we go. Much better. Okay, so now that you have this all set, you come to this guy, you fold up the legs, and you can see the blue makes a nice solid line, which I like. You're going to rotate this part down, open this guy up. You're going to want to grab his Judenchi, pop it in, push the button down, and then pop that out. Now you're going to want to take it back out. We'll come back in a second. Grab Stego-Saw, which I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. I apologize. Stego-Saw, Stego-Saw. I'm bad at it. Anyway, you don't have to pop his gimmick out because he's just like this. So now you want to take all three of the Judenchi that we're going to use, 1, 2, and 3, and hit the little button. You know what? I think I have to put these all in first. You know what? I think I did this wrong. It's been a while, so I apologize. I think I have to put these in first. There we go. Now we connect. There we go. Sorry, it's been a minute since I've last done this, and directions are for suckers. So, you can get about that much articulation out of the guy. You can go ahead and pop in this big, giant saw blade sword. Looking giant and ridiculous. I love it. Yeah, so that's this guy. He looks fantastic. I love it. I'm very excited about this. So if you hit the button again, it just says that again. But yeah, this guy looks great. I love it. The red looks great on the back. All the white and the black is a nice constant throughout with the red and blue accents. And then you have the gold here, a little bit of gold up there. So yeah, no complaints. This guy looks absolutely fantastic. Just a real quick little side note. I do not have the other Zyuden handy, unfortunately. But what I can do is, I think I swap out this one for this one. And I think we can try this. So that's pretty cool. You can also get Kyoryuzin Brave Macho. Even though Ankidon is not going to get the Kyoryuzin Brave treatment, the sound is still in there. So I think that's pretty darn cool. Now, along those same lines, if I take this out, and this out, and this... So you can do Kung Fu as well, which I think is really, really cool. I love that they put those in, even though, again, those Zyuden Ryu are not going to get the Kyoryuzin Brave treatment. I mean, unless they just make something up for the toy release because they weren't in the show, I'd be fine with that. If the designs were cool enough, I'd probably grab them. But unfortunately, they wouldn't have any new names, sounds in this guy, so that kind of makes it unlikely. But you never know. It depends how well everything sells. So I think that's really cool. There is still one more combination we can do. So we can make Kyoryugen Brave Western with these two other Judenryu that we have here. For these guys, you're going to spin this around and then fold up the foot, and then this will kind of all go together. Again, the green makes a nice solid line, which I like. There you go. You're going to want to open this up and pop the Judenchi in so that you can get this to pop open. And then he is all ready to go. And then you're going to take Repax and do the same thing. I'll do the Judenchi first, because why not? Even though it's barely noticeable what it does. But it's still there. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm wrong. You gotta flip the feet around first. That's why not. See? You ask why not, and you usually get the answer to why not. Bring that around. Okay, now that that's all ready, you can pop the Judenchi in and try this again. There we go. Okay, so now that we have our two arms ready, let's go ahead. I forgot you're supposed to spin the neck around as well. All right. I always loved the music and the jingle and everything for Kyoryugen Western is pretty fantastic. So this guy can be a little difficult just because it's kind of hard. Oops, oh, they can go all the way in. When you're trying to plug it in, it's a little difficult because there's just barely clearance for him to have that all the way down. So I kind of like to push it up. Just makes it a little bit easier to connect. But there you go. This guy is definitely ready for a fight. He's got a giant axe with some blades on this side and a giant laser gun on this side. So get out of his way. So just for fun, I thought I would grab the Gabu revolver and check these out. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be that exciting. Now, as I said, the Kyoryugen Brave version of this and the sword was available in a 2-pack. I think this was available separately, and I think they were available together. But I don't think the sword was available separately. So it was either the gun or both. I do have the set on order, and it is coming. So when that comes, I will do a review of that, and we'll check out some more Judenchi and everything. But for now, just for fun, you can pretty much already know what this is going to do. So as I said before, it kept the dinosaurs together, so it thinks that Shovel-Ceratops is Drill-Ceratops. So nothing too exciting there. So it just thinks it's Drill-Ceratops. Nothing too super exciting. These are kind of a letdown. You can probably already guess what these do, since we know what their counterparts did. So nothing too exciting there, unfortunately. All three of these just say Super Sentai, because as we saw when we put the Super Sentai Judenchi into Kyoryugen Brave, we got Candelier and LaQ sounds. So these reused some of the Super Sentai pin systems So if you put these in here, it thinks they're Super Sentai. If you put Super Sentai in the other one, it thinks they're these. So unfortunately, these do not make any real exciting sounds in this. But like I said, when I do get the Kyoryugen Brave version of the Gabu Gabu Revolver, there'll be some fun sounds to be had. This guy is every bit as fun as the original Kyoryugen. He's got a new paint scheme, some new molding, some new sound effects, and it's an absolute blast. If you were a fan of the original and you have the means to pick this up, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Even if you're not that familiar with the show, it'd be very easy to grab this and then go back and watch the show. I think it was somewhere in the area of 10 to 13 episodes, and each one was only about 10 to 15 minutes long. So you could watch probably the whole show in an afternoon if you really wanted to, maybe 2 days at tops. So the show was a lot of fun. This set is a lot of fun. Like I said, I know that the sword and the gun is coming. I'm hoping that Terra Voltan and Giga Bragigas will also be in our future. We'll have to wait and see. But this was a lot of fun. I don't really have any complaints. I mean, if I had to think of something to complain about with this set, I mean, like I said, the fact that they could have made this a little bit more flush so it didn't look like a second mouth, but it's such a small nitpick, it's really not even worth mentioning. I mean, that's if I had to find something. Otherwise, this guy is great. I have nothing to complain about. He's a lot of fun. All the sounds you want are there. Even sounds I wasn't expecting, like Brave Kyoryugen Macho, Brave Kyoryugen Kung Fu. It's really, really neat. I think they did a fantastic job, and I love it. So if you guys have the means to pick this up, I highly recommend it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd like to hear your opinions. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you guys enjoyed this look at the premium Bandai release of Brave Kyoryugen. And as always, thank you so much for watching.